Welcome back to another day out in the country, and we are working on the bedroom remodel again. This is our daughter's bedroom, or will be our daughter's bedroom. We've gutted the room. I've already started work today, but I didn't bother showing it because this is the boring, tedious work. Basically, I've been going around the room, pulling out or pounding in staples and scraping all the slivers and splinters of wood. The paneling was all glued to the studs, so when you pull it off, it leaves a lot of unevenness and chunks of wood. I don't know if you can see it on the floor. Basically, I've been just chipping away, and it's very slow, but we got it done. I think the walls look good now. The studs look pretty even. There's a little bit of debris and residue left, but it won't be enough to affect the evenness of the wall. So I'm going to go ahead and sweep, vacuum, and we're going to get the plywood screwed down. We're doing plywood because we want to cover up this glued down vinyl. We want to cover up these holes in the floor where the furnace was. And we also want to raise the floor level up so that it'll meet tiles that will be in the rest of the house. So that's the plan today. Just plywood, and we'll see what else we can get done. I think the room is clean. Vacuumed it all, swept it all. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to start pulling the plywood in here. Getting it measured, cut, screwed down. We got our first piece of plywood in. This was a full sheet. It covered up our holes perfectly, went out into the hallway exactly where we wanted it. So we squared it up by measuring from the plywood to the wall, plywood to this wall. So now this is our starter sheet, and everything should go quickly now. Just line it up to that. The room feels cleaner already, and it smells a lot better too. We got all the plywood screwed down everywhere. It's done. So the floor is set, and it feels good to have a good floor in here. Now we can start working on the ceiling rafters, which all we do is we sister these old trusses with a 2x6 so that we can hang drywall and have a nice sturdy, strong ceiling. Ceiling joists are cut, and it's raining out, which isn't a big deal, but it does slow down work a little bit for me. Alright, normally I would be really excited to have this wood cut. I'd be excited to put it up. I want to get moving on this project. I'm excited to get everything done, but unfortunately I forgot my rafter vents. How could I forget the rafter vents? So basically the rafter vents, if you remember from the master bedroom, are those black plastic trays that go up against the roof to keep the insulation away from the roof. I totally forgot to pick more up. So I can't put up my ceiling joists until the rafter vents are up. So right now the whole project has come to a halt, a standstill. I can't do anything. I really can't even frame walls or anything because I really want to get the joists up while everything's out of the way. We went out and got our rafter vents, so we're all set to start stapling these up. This is a super quick project, so I'm just gonna get them all hooked to the roof, and then we're going to put these ceiling joists in today. It's going to happen. Previously, when I've installed these rafter vents, there was some question about whether or not you need them in every bay or only some of the bays. While it's true that not all of our eaves, all of the soffits are vented outside, at some point I really would like them to be, and I'm just of the mindset that every bay should be covered. I don't think insulation should touch the roof anywhere unless it's a cathedral ceiling or, you know, set up for that kind of contact. A rafter vent is basically any kind of channel. It could be made out of cardboard, it could be made out of foam, it could be made out of plastic, a number of materials. And basically all it's doing is creating a pathway for air to flow from your soffits up along your roof out to the ridge without being impeded by insulation. So it keeps the insulation off your roof. If your insulation is on your roof, it blocks the airflow, your attic won't vent as properly, and you can lead to condensation in your insulation. You don't want that. That was easy, and now that that is done, I can go ahead and just throw my joists all up. Remember, we already cut them, so this should go really quick as well. Some staples coming out the roof. I told you that'd be quick. This looks so good. I always love seeing the project come together because I know we're so close to the next step. All I gotta do is screw these in, and you've seen the routine before. We just sister up with these 2x6s next to our old trusses. The 2x6s are span rated to hold the drywall, so they're strong. They're gonna hold the drywall and not put extra weight on the roof support. Yeah. But after this is done, we can get working on the walls. Now, Ashley and I are going to go to the barn. We're going to start ripping boards. We got to rip some 2-inch boards so that we can put them on the studs to build our wall out to 5.5 inches. This wood was so ugly and gnarly and full of knots and hard to cut. It was a big pain. It was hard to keep them straight. The boards were all crooked everywhere there was a knot. It bent a different direction. So they're not totally perfect. For some reason, they just didn't have good wood in stock. Sometimes they have really nice, clean, straight boards, and sometimes they just have junk.
These were just full of knots everywhere.
Yeah. Knots, rough cut, uneven cut, just hopefully they go up smooth enough and, you know, we have a level, smooth wall to work with. Now, if you're not familiar with what we're doing here, we ripped a bunch of 2-inch boards and we're going to be cutting them to fit and screwing them to the face of our studs and building out our 3.5-inch wall out to 5.5 inches. That's the same as a 2x6 wall. And that'll allow us to put a lot more insulation in the wall and have a lot more energy efficient house. So we just put it in, line it up with the stud. this is coming out really well. We had just enough wood. I estimated how much we'd need, and I'm just surprised because we're down to like just the scraps. We got all the walls furred out all the way around the window. We're basically done. I just got to finish up that corner. I need to grab a 2x4, which we have, and I need a 1/2 inch spacer. We'll do all that later. And over here, we're going to be building a wall. I'll explain that later. But progress is being made. Look at all the new framing. It looks so awesome. And it's just one step closer to getting it done. Now this room is going to be done a little bit differently than our last room. In the bedroom, we were able to do each step independently and one step at a time, start to finish. We gutted thoroughly, then we built out the framing thoroughly, and then we did insulation. Everything was like one step at a time in full complete steps. And in this room, it's going to be a little bit chaotic because we actually have some insulation, have some drywall left over, and we want to get this taken care of. This tarp, doorway, we have to climb in and out the window. We can't even get in here. So what I'm going to be doing is kind of insulating over there, putting up some electrical, doing some plastic. Our goal is that if we can at least get part of the room kind of closed in, we can start building our framing for these doors, this closet, this bedroom. If we can get that done, it'll make finishing the rest of the project easier. So it might get a little bit chaotic. We might not have full steps, but we're just going to go with the flow and make it happen. I think we're going to leave you here with this though, because we made good progress. We got all the ceiling framing done. That's going to be a super strong ceiling for our drywall. We got all the wall framing basically finished, built out. So next time, we should be already doing electrical, insulation, all that stuff. So it's going to go quick. That's all we have for now. Thanks for watching. And until next time, take care.
Bye.